What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I am 𝐷 Today we are talking about myths that I see when people are talking about course creation. So when they are going out to create a course, they have certain misconceptions and preconceived ideas that may or may not be true. And that's what I'd like to discuss today. Now, before we get started, just want to say hello to a couple of friends. Consultant Blind Guy, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Jen Games as well, and everybody else watching the stream. I really appreciate you being here. So again, today we are talking about courses and course creations. You know, I speak about three main things on this channel. I talk about membership sites, I talk about affiliate marketing, and I talk about selling online courses. These are the three big, things that I talk about because they are the most important drivers in building passive income online. There are so many different things out there that you could do to make money, but these are the three things that I have found that provide the most income and that are some of the easiest things to actually get set up and get rolling. Take a membership course, a membership website. It doesn't really take a whole lot to get set up. You have a website, maybe a sales page, and maybe just a few little bits of content before you can actually open up that membership. It's really easy to do. Affiliate marketing, you can literally get set up in a day. A course, you can literally outline, film, and so forth in a day or two, right? These are things that you can get set up and can provide you recurring income over and over and over again. I can sell 10,000 online courses in a single day, right? But I can't give all of my time away. So, if I'm doing consulting or something like that, yes, I can make money online doing consulting, but that takes a lot of time and effort out of each and every one of my days. I used to do consulting and a lot of consulting, and, it would take hours and hours and hours away from things that I could be doing, time that I could be spending with my family and so forth. There's so much that, was into doing consulting, doing e-commerce and other stuff like that. And building an online course or having a membership site, doing affiliate marketing is just so much easier and takes a whole lot less time to deal with. Salima, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. I see that here in the chat. But yeah, so those are the main things that I talk about, as well as, always trying to provide a good, consistent financial education for everybody as well. That's, without question. So today we're talking about 5 myths that I have seen that I actually talked to my friend Graham about this a couple days ago when we were talking via email. And so let's go ahead and start off with number 1, because I do have a firm cutoff time because I have another call after this. But number 1 is, if you create your course, then sales are going to come. The whole, if you build it, they'll come type mentality. And unfortunately, that is not true, right? If you build your course, you're not going to necessarily start making sales right away. In fact, you're actually doing things backwards. I always recommend building an audience first. And what do I mean by audience? An audience could be, a following over on YouTube or on TikTok or Facebook or something like that. But more importantly, it is building an audience in your email list, right? I always recommend building an email list more than anything else, because that is going to be your number 1 driver for sales, for revenue, period. Hands down, right? I could have 10 million people on this YouTube channel, and I could talk about my online course that's coming out, and, a small percentage of those people will purchase. But if I have a email list with only 1,000 subscribers on it, but those 1,000 subscribers are super engaged and I have a really good relationship with that list, not just trying to spam them all the time, here, buy my stuff, buy this thing, and stuff like that, but I have a really good relationship with them, I could get a lot more sales and make a lot more revenue from that email list of only 1,000 people than I can with a YouTube audience of 10 million people, right? So you have to have an audience first. And, I like the way that I like to do things, and the way that I believe that they should be done is you need to pre-sell your course before you build it, or at least, as you're creating it, have a beta group like I have. So, right now I'm in the middle of building out my course. My course, was barely started when I got my beta group together. And the purpose of the beta group is to make sure that when I do fully launch, that I have a really, really good and valuable course, right? I don't just want to go and build a course. If I just go and build a course, I have no idea how that's going to go over. I could have in my head, oh my goodness, this is the best course ever. But in reality, it may not be the case, right? I may, launch it and people are like, man, this is terrible. Or there's so many holes, in this course that, need to be filled and so forth, right? I want to have something really, really good and valuable the second that I launch, right? But that doesn't mean that I can't start selling it first, right? I like to sell because I want to make sure that my idea for that course is validated, right? I may have an idea for a course on email marketing, right? But if the audience that I'm targeting doesn't want that course on email marketing, what's the point of creating the course? I might spend 50 hours making course content and it never, wanting to reach my audience. So, my audience just doesn't want it. So I'm not really going to sell anything. So what was the point of creating that course, right? You need to find out who your audience is. You need to have, your customer avatar fully built out. I'm actually doing a video on the customer avatar that hopefully will come out tomorrow. It's going to be like really, really awesome and kind of make you kind of turn your head and go, huh? And kind of shoot down some misconceptions that people have about the customer avatar. And this is actually something that like I've talked about in my beta group and in my course. We've talked a lot about the customer avatar, but I'm actually going to do a video for my course, but also for here on YouTube as well, talking a little bit more about the customer avatar. It's going to be awesome. So Consult the Blind Guy is saying #coffee. So you know what that means. I have to take a sip of coffee. You know what? I'm going to take 2 sips. I love my coffee. Yeah, so step one when, you're going to create a course is one, you need to build your audience first, right? And by building your audience, by building your email list, having a good relationship, no matter what platform you're doing it on, as well as your email list, you're going to actually be able to find out what your audience is going to want. All right. So I know that my audience is going to want this because of the questions that I get in a live stream, or, when I publish a video, I get questions and comments and so forth. I get to find out what my audience wants. Then I can, think about it. Okay, well, my audience is asking for X. So I'm going to create a course on X, and I might outline it all and, talk to a couple of key individuals and be like, hey, what do you think of this? They'll give me some feedback. And then maybe I'm going to go ahead and pre-sell my course first, or, decide on, I'm going to have a beta group that I can bounce ideas off of, get feedback from, so that when I do launch a course, this course, then it's going to be amazing, right? A really amazing course right from the get-go. So that's number one is, if you create a course, the sales are just going to come rolling in, because 99% of the time that's not going to be the case, right? Especially if you don't have an audience first. If you are just creating a course and you're trying to sell it, most people do this backwards. They create the course and then they try to market. And that's not the way you want to do it, all right? You want to market first and then create the course, all right? Because the blind guy is saying, don't want it getting cold. speaking about my coffee. Yeah, thank you, man. It's funny. My coffee goes cold all the time because I'm working, and then I have to go heat it up or get some more. Sometimes, like if I'm down to like a quarter of a cup or something like that, I'll just give the rest to my daughter and get a brand new cup. Because I'm working and it just sits here and I completely forget about it sometimes because I'm just typing away and yeah. So anyway, number two, you need to be an expert in order to create a course. All right. That's myth number two. You absolutely don't need to be an expert. All right. This has been spoken about countless times by countless people. Seth Godin has talked about this. Russell Brunson has talked about this. Frank Kern and just about everybody out there has talked about this. You don't need to be an expert. What you need to be is just a little step beyond the people that you're talking to, right? So if you have a YouTube channel and you are kind of like the test guy for things, for your market, and you are experimenting, you're showing your progress, and you're doing, like, people are watching that because they're a step or two behind you, right? If they're a step or two behind you, you can create a course to catch them up. And by that point, you're a couple of steps beyond them at that point, right? So you're always going to be a couple of steps beyond. So, it doesn't make you an expert. It kind of makes you a leader in a way, in that you're leading these people. You're doing all the experiments for you. Pat Flynn used to say he's kind of the crash test dummy for all this stuff, marketing and so forth, building passive income online. And it's true. He wasn't the expert at the time. All right. He was the dummy in that he would go and learn all this stuff for the people and then talk about his experience with that stuff, learning that stuff. So you can do the exact same thing. You don't have to be an expert. One of a really good book that I highly recommend, and after the live stream, I'll actually put it in the show notes. So if you're watching this replay, just look in the description and you'll find a link to it. But there's a book called Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. And he goes really, really in depth on this subject, that you don't need to be an expert in whatever niche that you are in. You just need to be a step or two in front of the people that you're talking to, right? He also talked about it in his first book, Dotcom Secrets, but really, really delves deep into it in Expert Secrets, which is fantastic. And then, of course, he has his new book, Traffic Secrets, which is fantastic as well. All three links will be in the description below after the live stream for replay viewers. Number three, the more content you have, the more valuable your course is. I kind of have an issue with this, right? I see a lot of courses with like 50, 60, 70 hours of content, all of this stuff. And to me, I look at that and go, man, do I really want to sit for 70 hours and try to get from where I am to where I want to be, right? It's not about selling the information. It's about whatever that transformation is. Taking a person from point A, where they are now, to point B, where they want to be. You don't want to have a ton of content, in that time frame. You want the shortest amount of content as possible. So, if you can get that same transformation from 70 hours down to 3 hours, that's a whole lot better. I could easily withstand sitting in front of my computer for 3 hours to get the same information as I could in that 70 hours of time frame, right? That's why, the course that I'm doing, it's not, 20, different videos of 5, 4, 3 hours each, right? There's a whole bunch of videos, but they're like 5 to 10 minutes long. And there's really not even going to be a whole lot. There's going to be maybe a total of about 6 hours of content total to get that transformation down, right? And that transformation in my course's case is to get you from not knowing anything to having a sustainable business where you can make passive income online, right? That is the transformation, right? To go from nothing to making money online, right? That's the goal. And if I could do that in less than 6 hours, if I could literally sum up everything into a webinar of an hour, that's what I would do, right? That's what it's about. You don't need more content, right? For a course, right? Membership maybe is a little bit different, but for a course, the less amount of time you have, the better. The less content you have, the better, right? It's not about the number of hours, right? No one cares. No one cares that you have 30 or 40 hours of content, right? What they're after is that transformation, all right? Again, they're buying transformation, not information. Number four, the format of the course matters, right? That's a huge myth, all right? Everybody thinks that you need to have videos and audios and PDFs and downloadables and all this other stuff, for your course. And that's not necessarily true, right? I like to have all that stuff, but it doesn't mean that I have to, right? I have gone through courses. Take Andre Chaperon's courses. I'm a huge fan of Andre's. He knows that I have pretty much everything he's ever done. And I think every single one of his courses is text only, right? There are no videos. There's no audios, except there are a few audios here and there where he has taken the outline, the text of that course, put it into something like Amazon Polly, which is a synthetic voice, replicator, kind of like Siri reading to you. And done that for an audio transcript of the text, right? And that's fine, right? I enjoy his courses because of the content that I'm getting, right? The value is much better than how it's delivered, right? And, he sells thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of courses, and they're all text, right? You don't need to have videos, right? He doesn't do any videos, right? Once in a while, you might find a video on the internet, or he did a series with, who was it with? It was like a email marketing masters type course that someone else was doing, but they invited him on as the expert to teach, right? And that was done in kind of a Zoom type format, where, kind of a webinar format where he was talking and answering questions and so forth. But his actual courses are pretty much all text, right? No one gives a crap. No one cares that your course is going to be text or audio only or video only. They don't care. What they want, again, is that transformation between where they are, the problems and challenges that they're having, or the result that they want to get, and those actual results, right? If they can get that in one page of text or one video or an audio or whatever, that's what they want, right? They don't care what format it's in, all right? So that's number four. Number five is the price of your course matters. The price of your course doesn't really matter, honestly. Like, I've sold courses for $20 or $7, actually. I think my cheapest course that I had, it was a mini course. It cost $7, right? My most expensive course was like $5,000, right? And I sold those as well. It doesn't really matter the price of the course. What matters is what they're getting for that price, right? And I don't mean that they're getting, again, going back to the more content you have, the more valuable the course is. It's not that they're paying for this 40, 50 hours of content, right? Martin, thanks for being here, my friend. Glad that you were able to make it. Really appreciate you being here. But they don't really care about that. They care about what they're getting, the value that you're going to bring in your course, right? They don't care. They want that transformation. That's what they honestly want. People pay right now a lot more for courses. That is a huge thing as well. Is that, in these times that we're in right now with COVID and all this stuff going on, with the pandemic, people being locked in, and this whole lockdown thing, people are online more, they're exploring more, they're getting more online courses, and course values, course prices have actually gone up, right? And that's okay. People are still paying it. People are paying more now for courses than they've ever paid, right? And more people are buying them. The only thing that matters is oh, Martin, I'm so sorry. Martin saying laid up again with his back issues. Sorry, man. I hope you get better. But yeah, people don't care, right? People don't care about the price. If you have an issue with price and you really shouldn't, then one of the things that you could do is offer multiple tiers, right? So you could have one tier that's a little bit cheaper, that offers a little bit less, and then one tier that offers more and they get more for it. So give you an idea, all right? One might be just the basic course content, right? The next tier up could be, the course content plus, weekly Q&As with you, right? And they could pay for that. Or, that upsell, that tier could be, the course plus a membership, right? There's a lot of different things you can do. You can have upsells and order bumps and all this different stuff. But the main course content, whatever price that you feel is, that course is valued at, that's how much the course should be, right? If the course will give someone a $2,000 transformation, why not, have it $2,000? I see a lot of these people online, Dan Locke and Kevin David and all these people, having, $1,000, $2,000 courses. I myself had sold 2,000, and higher price courses and sold, tons of them. But it's because they provided the value that, people were paying that $2,000 for, right? If it wasn't going to be valuable to them, then it wouldn't have been that price, right? My course right now, right, I'm putting at $369. One, because those are my favorite numbers. But two, I want to provide a ton of value for a cheaper price so that everybody can have access to it, right? As well as my number one goal is not to just sell the course. It's to also provide a value, right? So I have an upsell for my membership, right? And when someone actually purchases a course, they get a certain amount of time in the membership just for buying the course, right? And then if they want to continue the membership, then they can continue the membership, right? But that's the goal, is to kind of get them into the membership so I can actively help people, right? But the course price doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I could literally charge $1,000 for my course because I know that it will provide $1,000 worth of value, right? I hope that makes sense. So those are the 5 ways, the 5 myths that I see when people are thinking about creating a course. Number 1, creating the course and then thinking that the sales are going to come just because they created the course. Things don't work that way. Number 2, you need to be an expert. You absolutely don't need to be an expert, right? You just need to be a step or 2 ahead of someone. Number 3, the more content you have, the more valuable your course is. Again, not true. And in fact, the shorter amount of time that you have in your course, the better. As long as they get that transformation, everything that they need to go from point A to point B, that's the best. Number 4, the format of the course matters. It absolutely doesn't. All right. The format of the course, it could be video, it could be all text. It doesn't matter. What matters, again, is that transformation. And then number 5, the price of the course matters. It doesn't. I've seen courses literally, Frank Kern actually did a course, and his course was nothing but a presentation slides. It was like green background with black text. It was really horrible looking, but it was incredibly valuable content. And he sold it for like $7,500, right? $7,500 for this course that was nothing more than some slides that you watched and him talking in the background, right? That was it. But I'll tell you this, That's one of the most valuable courses ever created, period, right? From anybody. It was worth that $7,500, right? If he would have put that out for $10,000, I have no doubt that he would have gotten it because it was so incredibly valuable to people, right? It provided that roadmap from point A to point B and was completely worth it, 100% worth it. So those are the 5. I will be taking questions now. So for the next 10 minutes, I do have to go here soon, but I will try to get to some questions. So let me go up. I saw some questions come in. Consultant Blind Guy is asking, should someone have a website prior to having a course? I think so. And here's why I think so. Because you need to build your audience first, right? And it doesn't necessarily need to be a website per se. It could just be, some landing pages and some multi-page pre-sale sites and so forth, for people to really get and connect with you, right? Building an audience is not just, let me upload a bunch of content to YouTube or post some pictures of myself on Instagram, right? That's not what building an audience is. Building an audience is building a relationship with someone, right? I have a relationship with a lot of the people on my channel, right? Because I'm active in the community, right? I see you on other channels. If you leave a comment on one of my videos, I reply back to you. I might ask questions. I try to get involved because I'm trying to build that relationship with you, right? In my email list, when my emails are actually working, still, having some issues there, but people reply back to me and I reply right back to them, right? And I do all the replying back, right? I don't have an executive assistant doing that work. That's my job, right? And, I reply back to every single person to make sure that I'm building that relationship with someone. So the question of, should you have a website? I think so. I'm just going to say yes, because it's part of building that relationship with your audience. So hope that answers your question, mate. Let's see. Here's a good question again from Consult the Blind Guy. Should someone charge a fee, a one-time fee or a monthly fee for those who are low income? It depends, right? I know what you're doing as far as your business and so forth. So for you, I would say, I probably have to say test, right? You could test both ways. You could test, creating a one-time fee, and you can actually split test this, through software. It doesn't have to be, done where you have to manually change what you're doing. This can actually be split test. And I can help you, figure all that out during our Q&A calls and so forth. But that's what I would have to say. I would have to say, split test it and see what, more people would choose. Whether they choose the low one-time fee or a monthly fee to break up the prices. For most other people, I would say don't really bother with creating courses for people of such low income, right? This is a job. This is we're trying to make money here. This is a business. And I don't want to be trying to sell stuff to people that don't have any money. All right. Typically. All right. You're a little bit different in that, what you're doing is outside of the norm. So for you, I would say test it. For everybody else, I would say, try to find a different market. Let's see if there's any other questions. What is the biggest misconception about course creation? I would go back to, the number one myth, the misconception of, if you create the course that, people are just going to come flocking to you. It doesn't happen that way. It never has. And unfortunately, that's the way people think. And that, they have this great idea. Oh, this brilliant idea for this course. And they go through all this work, maybe spending months of their time creating this course to launch to crickets, right? and nothing happens. And they go out there and they spend all this time, spend, sometimes a whole lot of money on production and other resources, and they never sell a single thing, or they sell one or two bits of their courses because maybe their friends or family wanted to show support to them. I wonder if you can hear my dogs. They're outside screaming, barking. But things don't work that way. So I would say that's probably the biggest misconception is them thinking that if they build it, people will come. Let's see, a couple more questions, and then I will have to get going. Let's see. I saw one come in here. Salimo's asking, question, is it better to offer one course covering everything you want to teach, or many courses covering one transformation? Really good question. So what I would do is figure out what your audience's biggest issue is, right? Their biggest challenge, the biggest result that they're wanting. And your main course should cover that one component, right? How to get them from point A to point B for this thing, right? And it could be a big overview. Like my course is a 30,000 foot view, 10,000 foot view, 5,000 foot view, right? So it's taking you over the entire thing, but not giving you a ton of street level information, right? You get a huge overview of everything with actionable stuff. There is some street level stuff in there to get you going, to get you started, but a ton of the details are going to come from the mini courses and from my membership, right? Being able to ask questions, being able to actually, get on a call with me and see me do stuff live with you. You ask a question, I'm like, you know what? Let me show you how to do that right now, right? So I would say, find out the biggest thing, right? The biggest issue that your audience is having. Take that one result, that one transformation, and take them from point A to point B. And then everything that is besides that, do mini courses. So hope that helps. Let's see. Question. In your opinion, what ensures that a student has a high success rate with your course? Really, really good question. I think the biggest thing that would ensure that your students, have a high success rate with your course is, let me think about this for a second. For one, you have to target the right audience, right? With your course. You can't have the wrong people buying your course, right? They have to have that problem that you're trying to solve, or want that specific result. And what would ensure that they have a really, the people that come in that have a high success rate with the course is to make sure that you are doing everything in order to get them that result, right? So if you're, a music teacher teaching piano lessons online, right? And a person, the main issue that your people are having is that they are having a timing issue, right? And that's the biggest thing in your market. And I don't know the market very well. I'm just giving you an example. But your market, the biggest thing that they're having with playing piano is getting the timing down, right? If your course is only meant to cover that one specific result, get them from not having good timing to having perfect timing, right? And you have all these little steps and drills and exercises and so forth that they need to do that will get them that result, right? And you do your best to make sure that they are getting that. And you're asking the people that are in there, and you are, maybe changing your course around a little bit here and there to make sure that they are getting, that result. That's how you're going to do it, right? that is going to ensure that they, get the best success rate because your course is made for that one result. So I hope that helps. Anyway, guys, I do have to go have another call, but I will be here next Thursday, and we will see everybody in the Officers Academy membership tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, or actually it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. my time. And we will see you then, guys. For everybody else that may have asked a question that I didn't get to, I apologize, but I will try to get them next week. And we will see you then, guys. Take care. Peace.